Hello, Brian Scott. Brian Scott's Game Night. Please subscribe. Continuing the series, Changing the Lost Seemings. Tonight, it's Wizen. You know the story. It's night. A man drives along a lonely country road. He sees lights in the sky. They swoop down, engulf the car. He blacks out. When he comes to, he is driving along the same stretch of road. He's traveled maybe a quarter of a mile, but his watch says he's been gone 5 hours. It's nearly dawn. When he gets home, his wife noticed that he's covered with little scars that look like healed up burns. He says he's sore and itchy all over. Over the coming months, the man will begin to recall being taken into a strange circular room, being experimented on by small, pale, dark eyed creatures. It's a classic abduction scenario, except the truth is, this man who came back with all his memories and relationships, he isn't a man at all. He's a thing made of sticks and stones, and he doesn't even know who he isn't. The real man is still in the clutches of the beings that took him. They're all doing their experiments. They're swapping his eyes around, they're repositioning his internal organs, they're taking out his hair one strand at a time and slicing off his nose and sewing on a different one. They're draining his blood out, and all the time he's conscious. And all the time, each different procedure is turning him into one of them. And worst of all, they're doing it to him for no reason. They're not even learning anything. They're not even doing it for fun. Whether gray skinned abductors, child seizing imps, vandal fairies, or tin mine knockers, many of the Fae marry practical talent and industry with undirected, pointless malice. Sometimes they are the sprites and goblins that bring people practical help and material wealth if placated. But if offended, even only once, even accidentally, these same givers of aid bestow upon their helpless human victims a lifetime of misery. The lost who were kidnapped by such fairies have endured this strange malice. Trained by unreliable fairy taskmasters, they have become nimble fingered. They have become willing, tireless workers. But the spitefulness of their captors infects them. It twists them. It makes them somehow smaller. It diminishes them. This is why, no matter how they look, other changeling recognize them as the Wizen. The Wizened consider their escape from fairy realm to have been the hardest to effect. The cunning and viciousness of their captors are unmatched. Chain, enthral, threaten, cajole, tricked, torture, and mock. The Wizened found their escape a labyrinthine problem that, for many of them, require multiple attempts before they could break free. Many of the Wizened make a point of trying to rise above the malice that made them so small. Many do, among the changelings' courts, the Wizen often are the ones who get their hands dirty. They are the managers of households and the enforcers of etiquette. They are the honest mechanicals who toil to create things beautiful and useful. They are elegant seers and healers. The paradox of their existence is that their skills place the Wizen in trusted roles within the society of changelings, while at the same time, the fact of their origin engenders mistrust. The most cheerful, decent, and helpful of the Wizen will still was still made what he was by being made of spite. And some changelings would believe that it only stands to reason that spite is the legacy that took from them their keepers and fairy. In the end, this distrust can fulfill itself as ill will directed against the Wizen inspires resentment in a changeling whose only sin was his deformity. And that is all of the seemings from Changeling Loss. I might do, if I actually get any replies to this, I might actually do something else along the same line. Thank you.